First of all, I would like to say thanks to all my subscribers and viewers. So, of course, there are few subscribers, but the watch time is good, right? Really, I'm getting interest by seeing that watch time. Now, let's start the lesson from CBSE physics. The lesson name is light, a reflection, and a refraction. So, coming to here, there are four lessons in the physics, but they play very crucial role to get the good marks, right? Let's start with the first lesson. So in this lesson, first let's see the definition of light. Right? Definition of light. So here, if you observe carefully before starting this, yeah, it's clear. So before starting this, we'll solve this. Now let's get started. So here in this universe there are many types of energies, are there? So in the first one, light. Light is a form of energy that gives us a sense of vision. As you can tell, the light is a form of energy which helps to see the objects, right? Wondering, right, how does light makes us to see the objects? If you observe carefully, when a light falls on any object, when a light falls on any object, then it reflects, and that reflected ray will reach into our eye. Then we could able to see that particular object. So if you see here, the light is falling on the object after incidenting at that point, then it bouncing back and it reaching to our eye, right? Then we can able to see that object. So light makes us able to see the object in this manner, right? So now coming to the next one, light travels in a straight line always. Just imagine that you are driving the bike. On the bike your speed is a 60 kilometer per hour, 60, right? So a sudden turn came. So what will you do? Immediately will decrease our speed, isn't it? So if you, without decreasing your speed, can you try to take turn? Obviously we cannot take turn, because if you try to take turn, it leads to accident, right? So here, for 60 kilometer per hour speed only we cannot able to take the turn properly. But what about light? It makes 3 lakh kilometer for 1 second. That means the light travels 3 lakh kilometer per 1 second. If you see in your textbook, it will be like 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, which means 3 lakh kilometer, 3 lakh kilometer per second, right? So now here, with that speed, is it possible to take turn, right? Obviously it's not. So that, like, imagine, this is the reason why the light don't travel in curve path, or right? It's I mean, you might learn activities in childhood regarding this. Why don't light travel in a curve path, right? So I mean, you will take a pipe which is in a U shape, and one of the end you will keep a light source, and another end, from your eye you will see the pipe. Then you cannot able to see the light source, because light doesn't travel in curve path. It always travels in a straight line, right? Hope it's clear. So then, in this chapter there are many phenomena. Those phenomena we are going to learn, right? So next, coming to, let us see, the first phenomena of light is reflection. Reflection of light. So here, reflection of light in the sense, when a light falls on any surface, when a light falls on any surface, then what happens after falling on the surface? If the second, for example, let's take this, for example, let's take here, erase all this, right? Yeah, thank you. So now here let us see, for example, if you take a surface, here it is air, the medium one is air, and the medium two is water, right? Let's imagine that the light is falling on the surface of water. So what do you feel? As water is a transparent material, the light enters into water, right? So here you should remember that when a light falls on any surface, then majorly, I mean, three phenomena takes place. The first one is when a light falls on any surface, right, then what happens? Some of light reflects back, some of its light reflects back, and some of it will enter into the another medium if the another medium is transparent, right? So here the first phenomena is called reflection of light. That means when a light falls on any surface, then what happens? It bounces back into the same medium, bounce back to the same medium, and this phenomena is called reflection. Clear? I hope it's very clear, right? What about second phenomena? When a light falls on any surface, if the second medium is transparent, then what happens? Some of it will enter into the another medium by bending, from deviating its actual path. So this is the actual path of light, but it won't travel in this path. This path it want to travel, what it will do, it will bend, it will deviate from its path, right? It will deviate from its path and it will travel. So we'll see that phenomenon, the reflection. So this phenomenon is called reflection, sorry, this phenomenon is called refraction. So what is the first phenomena? A reflection of light. What is reflection? When a light falls on any surface, then some of its light, it will be bounce back into the same medium, right? This phenomena is called reflection. Here reflection can take place on any surface. We can able to see the object, transparent objects, we can able to see the translucent objects, we can able to see the opaque objects also, right? Because whatever the surface it is, when a light falls on it, some of its part gets reflects, and that reflected will reach into our eye, and then we can able to see the object clearly, right? Now let's enter into the reflection briefly, right? So first let's see the laws of reflection. What is one? Laws of reflection. So coming to here, the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. Let's see the few basic terms here. When we are discussing, when we are studying about the light, we discuss about, we assume that light as a ray. As a ray we'll assume, and we will learn about the behavior of light, right? So here if you observe carefully, here there are few about this, right? So here if you observe carefully, incidentally see, incident ray, when the light is traveling and is falling on the plane surface, right? Of course I have taken here mirror, right? The object, the light, a single light ray comes and falls on the plane surface, and we can tell it is a light ray travel and for incident on a plane surface. After incidenting, what happened? It bounced back into the same medium, right? So here, to decide the position of to measure the and to decide the position of incident light, we use normal, right? So by using normal, we can address the incident light, right? So when an incident light are falling on any surface, we cannot tell that its address, in which direction it has incident, right? So here for that purpose we are using normal. Normal is not a light ray, yes, it is imaginary line which is perpendicular to the surface. Clear? So here when a light incident on any surface, at that point we will draw the normal, right? This normal will gives us clarity how much angle is making by an incident ray. So here the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incident, right? The light which is coming from the source on falling on any surface is called incident ray. Okay? So what is the angle of incident? The angle the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incident, right? So after incidenting, what happens? We have discussed already. The light ray bounce back into same medium, right? The light ray bounce back into same medium. This phenomena is called reflection. So here the first law of a reflection is telling that the angle of incident, this angle of incident should be equal to angle of reflection. What the first is telling, the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. So what is angle of reflection? The angle made by the reflected ray with the normal is called angle of reflection, right? So now the laws of reflection. The first law is the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection, right? So I hope you understood why do we use normal, right? To address the object, to address the incident light ray and reflected ray. What is incident light ray? The light which is coming from the source and falling on any surface is called incident light ray. What is reflected ray? After incidenting, the light which is bouncing back into the same medium is called reflected ray. Here and here, what is normal? Normal in the sense nothing but it's a uh, normal in the sense nothing but it's a imaginary line which we are drawing perpendicular to the surface, and which helps us to address the incident ray and the reflected ray. So here the first law of reflection is the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. Clear? Right? So next, let's enter into the second one. Here the incident ray, a reflected ray, and normal to the mirror at the point of incident all lie in the same plane. All lie in the same plane. So here I don't. Okay, all lie in the same plane. So now let me take two pens to explain this phenomenon better, right? Yeah. Yeah, guys. So now let us see what is. So let us see. The second phenomena is the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal to the mirror at the point of incident all lie in the same plane. So, what does it mean? If you observe carefully, if I say there are three pens, right? There are three pens, right? So, if I say these three objects are in the same plane, means if you see them in particular view, for example, see if you see them in a particular view like this. Actually, you can able to see three panels now, right? If I keep them like this, then what happened? You could able to see them as a one, isn't it? So you could able to see these three pens as a one. That means these three pens are in the same plane. In the same manner, if you observe carefully, the incident ray, normal and reflected ray. And from a particular view, if you watch them, you also feel that you can able to see only incident ray, right? So that means they all are lie in the same plane. They all are lie in the same plane, right? So coming to the next, image formed by a plane mirrors, right? So here there are two types of images actually. They are a real image and virtual image, right? Before explaining about the image formed by a plane mirror, let's have the basic definition of image. What is image, first of all, right? So here we know what is shadow, might learn in the previous class, right? So now let us see here image in the sense, excuse me, yeah, image in the sense the point of intersection of all the reflected rays or refracted rays, sorry, the point of intersection of all the reflected rays and refracted rays is called image. For example, if you observe carefully, uh, we could able to see this maybe, we could able to see the object of we could able to see the image of the candle in the mirror. If you see here, there is an object. Let me take a pencil. This. Right now, let's take a pencil. Sorry. Let's take a candle. If you observe here, this is the candle and it is the mirror, right? So here the light rays are falling on the mirror and they are reflecting back, right? We have to take minimum two light rays to trace the image. Here after incidenting on the plane mirror, what is happening now? Just if we extend them back, both light rays are behaving like they are meeting at a point where the image forms. So right, so from this we can conclude that what is the image in the sense nothing but the point of intersection of all the reflected rays or refracted rays. They may meet directly or they may meet indirectly, whatever it may be. So the point of intersection of all the reflected rays or refracted rays is called image, right? Now let us see, uh, there are two types of images mainly. The one is a real image and another one is virtual image. The first one, a real image in the sense when the reflected rays meet directly, then we can able to see the real image. That too we cannot see with our naked eye. We can see the real image with the screen. Okay, here the image which forms on the screen is called real image, right? And the image which we can see directly with our naked eye is called virtual image, right? The virtual image forms the virtual image forms meeting of uh, indirectly when the reflector is meet indirectly due to that it forms, right? So now here let us see the image characteristics formed by the plane mirror, right? The first one, the image is erect. First one, image is erect. That means the upside of the part appears as the upside, right? The bottom of the part appears as a bottom, right? This is called erect. Clear? This is the first character of the plane image formed with the plane mirror. And the second one is image is the same size as that object. Here, whatever the height of the object, then the same as the height of the image, right? And this is also completed. Coming to the third one, the image is at the same distance from the mirror as the object in front of it. So for example, whatever the distance from the mirror to the object, the same distance would be the mirror to image, right? Here also you can see distance is same from here to here and from here to here, right? So next, coming to the second one, a fourth one, the image is virtual. The image is virtual. So here the image which is formed by the plane mirror is virtual. That means you can see with your naked eye. And what I said, image is the point of intersection of all the reflected rays directly or indirectly is called image, isn't it? So here in the view of plane mirror, the reflected rays meet indirectly. That means they appear to meet at a point. They reflect from the mirror, but they appear to meet at a point which is called virtual image, right? So they don't meet directly, they appear to meet at a point. There the image will be formed, which is called virtual image. It's very clear, I think so, right? And the image laterally inverted. So what does it mean, laterally inverted? Which means your right appears like your left and your left appears like your right. Here, so this is the meaning of laterally inverted. So hope we learned well from these videos. The next class we learn about the